Welcome to the Deborah Kennedy Show. Tonight, my special guest is Dr. Aleida Heinz talking about a hot topic, sexual intimacy. I'm so excited to have you on the set tonight. This is a hot topic that most prefer not to talk about. Am I correct?
Yeah, you're totally fine. Totally right. Yeah, no one wants to talk, but everybody wants to know.
And everybody wants the connection. They want the intimacy. But intimacy is not just about sex, correct?
Well, actually, intimacy, you have emotional intimacy, sexual intimacy. It's not about sex. It's about connection and going deeper and feeling comfortable with each other, being yourself with the other, emotionally and sexually. But it's not about sex. Sex is activities, it's their behavior, it's what you do. Intimacy is how you feel, I would say.
So I have a couple questions that, I know our audience members would want to know about intimacy. Do you feel like those that have issues with sexual intimacy, first of all, communication is important, but don't you feel a lot of the sexual issues start from the childhood?
Well, yeah, it can be, but it's not fair to say that all your problems start in childhood, right? You have to upgrade and update yourself, right? It's just everybody have problems in the childhood. So if you attribute all your problems and your sexual problems to childhood, then you get stuck like in the past. So I think that's a good idea to, as an adult, we have the opportunity to change our mindset, to go for information, to update yourself, because in your childhood, you have bad example. Of course, that has an impact, but you have to kind of see, if my parents were poor, I'm miserable. That's not the reason why I have to be poor and miserable too. Well, I can understand that, and I can do something better, right? And upgrade my mindset, and I'll upgrade the way I see and perceive events and relationships, love, sex, right?
Absolutely.
So I think the important thing is the present. Your present, what you do right now, and what is it that you want? What is it the type of relation that you want to experience? The sex life that you want to experience, and then go for that. If you don't know, then go for information. So I bring this book for you.
Oh, I love it. Make love 365 times a year, every day. Basically every day. 7 sex secrets. Yes. I love this. This is going to be my new Bible.
Okay, good.
So do tell me some of the secrets. You're sharing 7 in this amazing book that you're the author of.
Yes. So the first thing is that lovemaking is just to understand the concept of lovemaking, which is not having sex, orgasm, or intercourse 365 times a year. It's about the connection. See, the intimacy, the intimate connection, the feeling great with that person, being so close, and have really feeding that emotional bond, and not just emotional, sexual, erotic bond between the two of you, in a relationship, right? Maintaining the relationship alive, through that connection, deep connection. but it's not just a relationship. It's just an erotic, intimate, romantic, fun relationship. But you have to kind of maintain that and water that every day. That's my point. That's love making.
That's love. Let me ask you a question. For those viewers out there that have been married multiple years, it's easy to do all this when you're first in a relationship. Maybe even the first 10 years. So it gets challenging after 12, 15, 20, 25, 35. Yeah. How do you keep the spark alive? Great. And how do you keep that intimacy going?
Yeah, great question. That's the 7 secrets. Well, they are not, actually, they are 7 areas of relationships that are critical areas that determine the quality of your love life. It's not just sex life, but your love life.
Right.
So those 7 critical areas are the 7 secrets. So the first one is your mindset. How to keep that relationship alive. Like
as if you're dating every day.
Exactly.
Yes,
exactly. How do you do that? In the beginning, of course, it's easy because it's new. Everything that is new is exciting, like this program. Exactly. I'm excited. That's the first time here. So it's new for me. I'm excited. I'm trying to do my best. Because it's the first time, right? That's the first. Everything that is the first time is super exciting and emotional. It's just fun. But what happens when it's no new anymore? No new anymore. Then your brain stops paying attention. It's just like, okay, you're boring. Right. So the longer the relationship, you have 3 problems. Familiarity. You get too familiar. You start seeing each other comfortable. You start seeing each other like, she's my family, my sister, my friend, my best friend. I hate that, my best friend. No, my goodness. I said, my husband, you say I'm your best friend, I kill you. I'm not your best friend. See? And that's familiarity. And you see each other, you're comfortable, you don't do anything to a life,
Spark, like
exactly. Then number 2, you have no equilibrium. The equilibrium between your work life and your home life and your love life, your erotic life. So there is no an equilibrium, and it's hard. So when you say just work and work and work, or just your home life and you don't have time for anything, so you don't have priority. Your relationship is not a priority anymore.
So make your relationship, make your partner, keep your partner your priority.
Yes, always, exactly. But what happened is that work, kids, the home life
gets
the
in the
work
way.
But that's the problem. It's hard to find the equilibrium.
Right.
And number 3, the tendency that most couples have to de-eroticize the relationship by critics, blaming and pointing each other. That is not sexy.
Right.
Not sexy. When you blame your partner, get out of here, are you so stupid, things like that.
Disrespectful,
and critics, and there is no appreciation or anything. It's like you take for granted everything. You are de-eroticizing the relationship. This is not erotic, not sexy. So those 3 big factors make that relationship the transit from a romantic, erotic partnership, like the couple home, to roommates. Roommate styles. Or sexless couples. And
sexless
couples. And then you don't realize this is an unconscious process usually, right? You don't realize that. And then those couples, you try to get close and okay, we are in Bahamas. What is going on with us? Oh my goodness.
We just want to go to sleep.
We are like, we're bored. We treat each other like family, like brother and sister. What is going on with us? And it's so hard to be in bed together just to sleep, and then you don't know. It's like amazing, but that happens,
right?
Because then you realize, sometimes people think that if you go out on vacation, everything is, or you put a lingerie or something sexy, that's it. Or sex toy, that's it. It's not true,
Right.
because then you realize how distant you are. You're so distant. Right. You're so a disconnect on all levels. And then you suffer. Then you see, okay, what should we do? And then you feel so weird. You feel strangers.
Right.
Strangers.
And then you probably become resentful.
Yes.
Because you don't really want to be with that person, and you're perplexed as to, why do I feel like that's my best friend and not my lover, not my
Correct.
Sexual partner? The excitement is not there because the mindset's not there.
Exactly.
And then you have
There you go.
just morphed into roommates.
Yeah, correct. So, secret or aspect number one is your mindset, as you said. Your mindset, the way you see things, you perceive your reality, and the way you talk to yourself too.
Right.
Your self-talk, and if you have a low esteem and you blaming yourself, you don't feel sexy, so that's not going to work.
Right.
So your mindset and your sexual mindset, like having a positive belief and feelings about sexuality, which is something important, right?
Absolutely.
If you believe that's important for me, for my partner, for our relationship, that's the mindset.
Right. And the mindset can change. You can turn the mind is a very powerful tool.
Amazing.
So you can turn your mindset from a negative mindset to a positive.
Oh yes.
So now let me ask you a few questions. We talked about the secrets. So I'm going to throw you some things that I'm sure you deal with in your practice with all of those clients that you have. What if infidelity's happened and one or the other, the partner, can't move beyond that, or can they? And what advice do you give for that?
That's a great thing. Infidelity, by the way, is one of my favorite topics. And this is something that I really, really like to help, because it's devastating. It's a lot of suffering for both, believe it or not, for both of them, especially for the betrayed partner. So it's the lies. It's like you feel
the trust
stupid. Yeah,
is gone. Right?
The trust is gone. So what happened is that infidelity, number one, usually is a symptom. It's just understand that something was not working. Something, if you are roommates, if you are sexless, if you are so disconnected in all many different levels in your relationship, then that's the chances, right? It's not an excuse, but it's the chances for infidelity, because we all are human beings. All we are, and infidelity is natural. It's not. It's not really something. Infidelity is a human behavior. It's natural,
absolutely.
And
you're not being desired at home.
Yeah, fidelity.
You're desired by someone else.
Yeah, fidelity is something. It's agreements. It's something. It's a decision, and it's from the cortex. It's from your brain, and you decide to be faithful. You decide to keep those commitments, whatever they are.
Right.
And so you are not following those. So, and then why you are not following them? Why you don't honor those? There are reasons for that. Many reasons, many type of, and it's just understand that. And understand, okay, what is the communication aspect, which is secret number 4.
Yes, secret number 4.
4 is just communication. You need to express yourself. You need to strengthen the bounds, right? To be able to tell your truth. Hey, this is going on with me. I feel lonely. I feel unattended. I feel, what are my needs? What is going on here? So if you are able to express yourself, but that doesn't happen, you don't have the space because you're too busy, right?
Right.
So if you don't have the space as a couple to talk and address those concerns, then
then it's over.
yeah,
Right,
it's not an
over.
excuse.
Right.
But it's just understanding
Right.
that, right? And understanding from the point of view of this is a symptom.
Right.
And let's fix that. Let's fix
Right.
not the symptom, but the fever.
Right. Exactly.
What is going on? And you can have a better relationship, not the same.
But a better because
A
you
better.
communication. So let me ask you another question. What if one person in the relationship wants to have a threesome, but the other doesn't? It's really important to the other person, and you can't agree on that. You think it's not what you want to do. How do you deal with that? Because I noticed you said that on your website.
Yeah, it's not judgmental, right? Now, why you want to, the first place, you want to open the relationship.
It's an open relationship, right?
Yeah, it's an open relationship. You can, it's okay if you want to, but if you are in a committed relationship, it's not whatever you want, it's us. So the first thing is to create a mindset.
Yes, the mindset. That's
A
the key
mindset, yeah, the us mindset. I call the us mindset. It's
Right.
not the I am single mindset.
Right.
Because when you have the single mindset, you feel entitled. It's my life. I want to do a threesome, a foursome, whatever I want to do. But you're thinking as a single individual.
Right.
As a single, it's perfect. You can do whatever you want, right? Because you're single and you only own yourself. But when you are in a committed relationship, that mindset has to change to a us.
Right.
It's not just your appetite. It's
Right.
just us. So you start, and this is a very mature, evolving process. That it takes time. And if you have been alone for a long time, then to build a us mindset takes a lot of time. Right? So you have been single and then you get married at 40.
Right.
Guess what?
You're used to being single and doing whatever you want. You have a mindset.
Yes, the single mindset. Now you have to develop and grow the us mindset. And I
Right.
help with that process. You know, it's like, okay, any decision, think about your partner. Involve your partner in your decisions, in your thinking, in your fantasies.
Right.
Talk about your fantasies with your partner. Like share in that. That's emotional and sexual intimacy. It's not about
Right.
sex. It's about exploring, open yourself, being you.
Right.
It's being naked. I call that sexual intimacy is being naked, not just the body, but your soul,
Right. Everything,
your
every
heart.
part of you.
Yes.
Yes. Raw.
Your emotions, everything is beautiful,
Right.
and show up yourself as you are, and then you can explore all of that
Right.
and see, okay, if my partner is okay with that or not. We can explore the ways to do this, but through fantasies,
Through
through
fantasies.
stories, to
Communication.
Yeah,
Talking.
exactly.
I could talk to you for hours. Will you please come back?
Yeah, sure.
You are amazing. We need you as
and
our
I will
regular
bring
guest.
another book.
Yes, there will be. No, we want you to
Yes,
come back before the other book.
I'm
you
finishing
are
my
already?
second book,
Oh,
yes.
how exciting.
So I will bring my second
You
book.
are amazing. I really could talk to you for hours. You're just
Yeah, sure. You too.
inviting. You're so knowledgeable, but you also are insightful and real. So we love
Thank you.
that.
Thank
Oh,
you. Thank you. My pleasure.
Dr. Heinz was amazing. I would like to make love 365 days a year, but it's really about intimacy. It's really about communication. It's really about finding out what you want, not being selfless, and being in a committed relationship 365 days a year.
If you are in the fashion, art, or entertainment industry and would like to be a guest on The Deborah Kennedy Show, just go to DeborahKennedyShow.com and you could be a guest just like me.
Tonight I have a very special guest, Todd Vrcan with Care Patrol, talking about what it's like to experience when the kids become the parents. We, at some point in life, will all experience that. And you help with your company navigating that tool. And lots of times, you know, it's really just starting with assisted living because the parents are at a certain age that, you know, they maybe perhaps want to go to assisted living to be around other friends or, you know, people their age, maybe their spouse died. So that's one level. That's a good level that we start with. Correct, Todd?
That is correct. A lot of times when an individual is not ready or is unable to take care of themselves at home anymore, they're no longer safe at home, and they need the socialization and somebody that's always in the community 24/7 to watch out for them.
Right. And that's a really fun balance, I think, too, having a parent decide that they want to do the assisted living, because oftentimes they don't, because they feel like they're giving up their independence and their freedom. And they are. But they also need to be in a safe environment, correct?
Correct. None of our seniors really ever say, hey, I'm looking super forward to going to assisted living.
Right.
It's one of the choices that it's a family decision that helps, advise the family member that, hey, you're no longer safe at home, we're worried about you, we're concerned. Here's a better opportunity for you to socialize, get 3 great meals a day, and live more comfortably.
Right. And I think, too, Todd, I'm not familiar with it, but I think there's all these different levels, too, of assisted living where, perhaps some people have the means to pick whatever assisted living they would like to go in. They can go into one that is spectacular, almost like a Trump Tower. Or there's ones that, perhaps have no money and have to go into state assisted living, correct?
Correct.
And so how do you, is there a fine balance? Tell me the ins and outs of that.
So when we talk with a family member, and it's usually the son or daughter that we're speaking with, we want to understand what's going on with mom and dad. What are their level of cares? What are their needs? What is the location they desire? Ultimately, too, is what is their budget? And we help guide the family and narrow down searches for the best fit for that family based on level of care, location, budget, and desires in a community.
Right. And I would say, too, a big fit would be going to the different assisted livings to see, which one the parent fit in better.
Absolutely.
Because, it's great to get them in assisted living, but you want them, it's something they probably, more than likely, they don't want to go to. But if they find they like it, that's an added bonus, correct?
Absolutely.
So finding the right one's important, correct?
And we encourage mom and dad coming along for the tour because this is their next stage in life, their next home. And it's important for them to realize that this isn't a nursing home.
Right.
It's an assisted living community, and it's so different. Our seniors think back to when their mom and dad were in a facility, and it was a nursing home.
Right.
Today, there's different components of assisted living, memory care, even independent living options.
So what are some words of advice? We're going to go into the different levels too, but what are some words of advice that you can give our viewers out there that are going through this at the very moment? They're at a wit's end. They don't really know what to do. Of course, we have your information to reach out to you, of course. So just give me 3 tips that you would give our viewers.
As they're going through that process, the first thing is just be prepared. This is natural and normal for a senior that as they age, they begin to fall, they have cognitive issues. It's difficult for that family member to accept the fact that, hey, I've got to do something to place mom into a safer environment. So it's really tough for them. Understand mom and dad's budget, their finances, what are their assets, because that's a huge portion of what's required for assisted living, because it is all private pay. And the next thing is having documents and everything in place, the power of attorneys, wills. Those are all the other things that are necessary that as we move through the process, make it smoother for the transition.
I'm going to say that is an excellent point, because I'm going to say personally, even for myself, it's a very difficult and challenging conversation to have with a parent, because you don't want the parent to think that you're challenging their funding or want their funding. You're really not. You're really in your mind thinking, how much money do they have to sustain this type of living? And then what happens if they have to go to the next level, and the next level, because at some point you're going to have to kick in. So I would say it's a challenging conversation.
It's very challenging, and most people don't want to open up about that, but it's important to know what mom and dad's financial positions are, because you do want to make the best decision for them. You want their money to last as long as possible. If you choose a nice fancy community that is, significantly higher, those funds are going to run out quicker.
Exactly.
So maybe less fancy is better. And not everybody likes that big fancy community.
Right.
They feel more at home at a different cozier atmosphere.
Because Todd, realistically, you might start in assisted living, but then have to advance very quickly to memory care, or exactly. There's so many
Yes.
different levels of it. Correct?
There is. Some individuals stay at home until they reach the point that they're cognitively have declined through Alzheimer's or dementia, and are no longer safe at home where they're a wander risk and need a memory care unit that's secure. So mom and dad don't wander off and get lost, get hurt.
Right.
But yes, there's assisted living, there's memory care, and ultimately skilled nursing at some point if it gets to the point where it's a medical necessity.
Well, we appreciate you coming on the set tonight, and I know you told a great story where your wife was involved in Care Patrol, and when
Yes.
you moved here, the franchise was available, and you really wanted to do this to give back to the community and really advise those people, because it is a very, very challenging point in life when we have to make those choices, and having someone that has been through it and knows how to navigate it and makes you feel comfortable with what you're doing for both parties is so important. So just give me if one line, a word of advice for our viewers out there, that you gave the tips, but one thing that can make them feel good about what they're doing in a resolution.
So just realize this is part of life. We all age. Have those conversations with mom and dad early on, understand what their desires and wants are, and just be prepared for worst case scenarios. Hopefully it's not necessary and mom and dad can stay in their home
Right.
alone, safe forever,
Right.
but be prepared for those situations that arise that they need a little extra help.
Thank you, Todd.
Thank you. It's
So
my pleasure.
what an amazing guest tonight, because at some point you already have or will experience that. And it's uncomfortable to have that conversation with your loved ones or parents. But as Todd said, you need to know the funding. You need to know their wishes, more importantly. So what happens if something happens and you haven't talked to them about it, and then you have to make all the decisions? So it's really be aware, have the communication, and have someone that you trust guide you and navigate through the most difficult time of your parents' life, but then probably the happiest.
To view this entire episode or to view other past episodes, please visit our podcast site at DeborahKennedyShow.com. You can view the complete episodes right on the website or subscribe to the show via iTunes or your favorite podcatcher. Thanks for watching.
When you look around, see the tears falling down. In a world so cold, where there seems to be no hope. So just look